What do you think makes the Marina Market so unique from other markets here in Cork?
It's an outlet for the youth. Like, I think there's a lack of some things like that. Like, looking at the graffiti room behind me now, like, some of the art is cool. Just a place to express yourself, like, the usual.
I just think the whole like outdoorsy seating area, like with the couches, like they're at Christmas time, everything, the decorations, the like vast amount of food choice. They always have like little jewellery shops around here and stuff as well. They're always really cute. And yeah, I think it's really welcoming as well. Just it's a cool place for students to come in between exams or lunch breaks or anything. Yeah.
There's kind of other events that go on here as well. Like sometimes they have music and they have like dog shows and stuff too. So it's kind of a good place, especially if you're meeting people like on weekends and stuff. If you're coming here with your family, it's good for that kind of thing.
Delia, she liked to start fires, liked to watch the old buildings burn, had a deep-set belief that everyone gets what they've earned. So she climbed to the bell tower's top and breathed in the sparkling new dawn. The cinders that caught in the breeze like fireflies sparked and were gone. Sibylla, she carried a flag, though it wasn't sewn from a cloth, and it didn't have any emblems. The message alone was enough.
How are you doing today?
Sure, I'm awake, like. How are you?
Fantastic. What is your favourite part here at the Marina Market?
Oh, I'd have to say Oak Fire Pizza. Bit of an old pizza connoisseur, like, I love the round stuff, like.
Definitely the MKT burger. Just devoured it. So yeah, it's my favourite.
Mine's probably Handsome. The messy wedges from Handsome. Yeah, that's the go-to.
Mine's the Kura sushi place. I love the katsu curry there. It's great.
And what is your stance on the dog-friendly policy here at the Marina Market?
I'd be a fan. I think it's great we're allowed to bring our dogs to these kind of places because it's just the way that you should be allowed. They're part of the family for a lot of people, and especially elderly people. It was one of the main points is that you can come here on the weekend with your dog. There's nowhere else you can really go. For example, my sister lived in the UK for the past few years in Wales, and every shopping centre, every pub, everywhere has to leave you bring your dog in as long as they're friendly and they're not causing a muck because, like I said before, they are some people's only companion.
Oh, I think it's great because it's really hard sometimes when you're going out for something to eat and, there's no dog policy. So it's great that you can just bring him in and he's a rescue as well, so he's nervous. So it's nice to be able to bring him in places.
Any dog-friendly like cafes, anything I love. I have my own dogs myself. We just didn't bring them up today because it was so hot. But once again, I just think it makes the place so much more welcome, so much more inviting.
Welcome, Eoin.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much for joining us here today. Very pleased to have you. How are you feeling today?
Good.
Yeah.
Busy, but good.
Absolutely. So would you mind telling us what your role here at the Marina Market is?
Yeah, perfect. I'm the marketing and events director for the group. So Urban Green Private owns a couple of shopping centres and the Marina Market. So I look after the marketing and events across the group, yeah.
And how long have you been part of the Marina Market and how are you enjoying it so far?
I started with the Marina Market about a month after it opened, so I've been here nearly 4 years. It's enjoyable, it's great work, it's tough work, but I do enjoy it quite a lot, yeah.
The Marina Market is certainly a brilliant addition to Cork City. How do you feel it has benefited the people from a social perspective?
Couple of ways, really. The first thing, really, I think, is that Marina Market's always been entrepreneurs. So everyone that's in here is an entrepreneur local to Ireland. So we never wanted to bring big brands in. It wasn't our intention. Our intention is that there's enough talent here in Ireland and Cork to, have an offering. And that offering seems to really have resonated with people. I think Irish people are excellent at supporting, each other, and the businesses have done so well thanks to the local community. Majorly, I think it's also a community centre. This is a place where you can host, have your event, bring your family down, bring your dogs down, bring the kids down. It's really an open to all sort of ideal in here. So that's really played into our favour over the years. It's just a really strong offering, and we've never really had drinks, so it's a very safe space to go, I feel.
From a social aspect, COVID-19 must have been challenging, dealing with restrictions placed on businesses and the food vendors. Seeing the market thriving today, that must feel very satisfying. Do you think that is the case?
COVID-19, it's a bit of a funny one. COVID-19 kind of played in our favour a small bit. It's firstly because so many of the guys here that are vendors were all in the hospitality industry. So they were all left without a job during COVID. And there was no backup for guys in hospitality who were running bars or restaurants. So I think nearly 50% of the guys that started here were starting a business for the first time because of COVID, because they had no other option. Also, we were an open air venue, so we were allowed to operate during COVID. Obviously, the day-to-day operations was extremely difficult with health and safety and checks, and really like a lot of not knowing what anything was. So we played it as safe as we possibly could, but we were able to operate, not at 100% level, but close enough to it during COVID, and it really did give us a boost at the start,
And there's an evident sense of the community here in the Marina Market. Do you feel this is due to the customers or the food vendors or both?
It's everyone. It's absolutely everyone. I mean, our vendors are all part of the community. We have every single nationality here. You've got Brazilians, you've got French, you've got everything. So it's really wonderful to see how they've all gelled together. But in terms of the community that come down here, we've always had recycle as much as we can, be as sustainable as we can. So in terms of all the furniture that you see, it's either out of recycled pallets or else it's donated from the community itself. So we owe a lot to the community around us. When we had our planning issues, they were the ones who had our back. They signed petitions on our behalf. We had strove for years to put on events, at our own cost, without profit, because we wanted it to be open to all. And I suppose we did 3 years of hard work of giving as much as we could back to the community, having those safe spaces, having the event spaces open for all these guys. So, that really paid us off in spades, when it came down to it. So I think that it's a group effort. I think everyone in here realizes the value of the community here. So we're really appreciative.
Fantastic, yeah. And speaking of which, one aspect of the market that is very popular is the dog-friendly policy.
Yeah.
It's a genius move, I think, to encourage more customers. Do you feel this is the case?
We were just dog lovers from the start, and I suppose because we're a market, we didn't have to go down the route of a shopping centre. There's usually quite a lot of rules and health guidelines and everything else, but for us, to make it as accessible as possible for anyone who's visiting, no restrictions with dogs, and they, it's been huge. It's been huge because people love to see them, but it's just, it's a safe space for dogs, and we have no problems with it. People are very responsible with their dogs here. They clean up after themselves, but it's been a huge plus point of what we've done, and a huge amount of events have come off the back of it. We host Dog Fest now every year, and that's a massive event for us. And we have a dog vending machine just behind us, so dogs are just our own community of dogs here as well,
Oh, yeah,
Dog
that's
lovers.
super to hear, absolutely.
Yeah.
'Cause like you said, the dog fair is so popular around here, which leads me on to my next question. What was the most successful event hosted here in the Marina Market?
It's hard to say exactly. It depends in what format. I would say Dog Fest was one of the biggest ones. I mean, we got to build a pool, which was really fun, which was highly unsuccessful in terms of the dock diving. But it was. We were looking at a lot of dog festivals, and the fact that we were able to build a dock diving pool right out the front of the marina was really, really fun. But yeah, like our wedding expo is always massive every year. We just held a chess tournament, which is the first time we ever held it. So we always look for events with niche communities, like people that would have never had a platform before. So some of the biggest events that we have is like our graffiti battles in January. And then the chess one, again, it's just finding these little communities that haven't really been touched before. And giving them a platform then to put on an event. So, anything is successful in its own right, that kind of way.
Absolutely, I
Please don't
completely
ask me,
agree.
tell me what the worst event was.
And what role do you believe the market plays in establishing connections between consumers and producers, local producers, that is?
Well, look, I suppose everything is connected. So in the Marina Market, I think there's something like 350 jobs created through the Marina Market.
Wow.
At one time.
Yeah.
So about 350 people are employed through our vendors and through suppliers as well. But in terms of, we brought another 30 restaurants to Cork City. So in terms of suppliers, it's great for them. It has been, I don't even know how to say it, but it's everything that we do and they do. It all helps. Everything is stimulating the economy some way.
Yes, exactly, absolutely. Now, November 2022, the Cork City Council refused retention permission of the market due to two main reasons. One was the market being near the chemical plant and limited parking. But now, thankfully, due to the people of Cork, we are able to overturn this decision and voicing an online survey to keep the market open. What are your thoughts on this? How satisfying did it feel to see the support and love that Cork people have for the Marina Market?
That was one of probably the best days in the last 4 years, I feel like, when we saw that all happening, and obviously we couldn't be seen to be sharing it or be involved, so it was amazing that this was done on our behalf. And it just, for me, and it's something I always say, is that when you work with a lot of properties or assets, when you have one that has an emotional attachment to people, it's so much better. It's such a more emotional attachment to something, and I just feel like you'll never get it. You can't make a brand cool on purpose. You can't make people love something without trying. So I suppose that emotional attachment to a place, to something that we market and operate is incredible, and it's so rare. And in fairness, look, City Council were actually very good to us as well throughout a lot of this. Obviously planning is planning, and there's a huge amount of red tape, and obviously in the area that we are, it is zoned for a different different uses. So there was a fair amount of challenges on their side, and obviously safety was the big thing there.
Of course,
they helped us navigate the whole thing, the whole process. Obviously, it could have been a lot worse had we not had 70,000 signatures behind us. But they were very, very helpful. And honestly, the City Council wanted us to stay open. Genuinely, we're a huge tourist attraction now in the area.
Absolutely, yeah.
But yeah, it was an amazing day to see that kind of thing taking off, and the amount of articles, and it was amazing.
Absolutely,
Yeah, it really was.
I'd say so. I'd say it's super.
Did you do the sound pole there? Alright, perfect. Oh Jesus, what's that? Sure, I'll show you. One, so follow me. Alright, so.